All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to try and define artificial intelligence. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sounds simple, right? Well, as we're about to find out, it's anything but. For these explainers, we usually dig into these long, dense articles. Well, not today. Our source for this whole thing, it's just 3 words. Seriously. It's from a piece called Defining Artificial Intelligence, but our focus is just a tiny part of it. And here they are. What is AI? That's it. That's our entire source. Kind of wild, right? But this one simple question, man, it's the bedrock for probably one of the biggest, most important conversations we're having right now. So let's give it the respect it deserves and break it down, word by word. Okay, section 1, what is artificial? First up, we're going to tackle that first word. This one should be the easy part, or so you'd think. So, artificial. What does it mean? Well, it's just stuff made by humans, not by nature. Things that are man-made. Think about it. A plastic plant, your polyester shirt, that's all artificial. When it comes to AI, this part seems super straightforward. It just means the intelligence part, it's made by us. Easy peasy, right? Maybe not. Just hang on to that thought. All right, section 2, what is intelligence? And yeah, here's where it gets complicated. We're moving on to the second part of our question, and this is where things get, well, messy. Really messy. But what do we really mean by intelligence? No, seriously, stop and think about it for a second. How would you define it? Is it just about being book smart? Being able to solve a Rubik's Cube super fast? Or is it about writing a poem or telling a good joke? It's way, way harder to nail down than artificial, that's for sure. So is intelligence the ability to learn, to reason, to create, to feel? This right here is the absolute core of the problem. We don't even have one solid definition for our own intelligence. Is it just about logic? Or does it have to include things like creativity, empathy, being able to read a room? And that's the real kicker. If we can't even agree on what human intelligence is, how in the world are we supposed to build and define an artificial one? So, section 3, thinking versus doing. We've got 2 competing ideas here. Because we're so fuzzy on what intelligence actually means, the people building AI have kind of split into 2 different camps. This ambiguity, it really leads to a fundamental split in how we approach the question. Think of it like a fork in the road. Because nobody can agree on what the destination intelligence even looks like, the whole field has split down 2 different paths. Each side is chasing a totally different idea of what AI should be. And this lays out the whole debate perfectly. On one side, you've got the people focused on thought. They're trying to build something that actually thinks like us, that reasons, maybe even feels. For them, it's about what's happening on the inside. Can it understand a joke, not just tell one? Then you've got the other side, focused on action. These folks, they don't really care how it works as long as it gets the job done. Can it drive a car safely? Can it spot cancer on an X-ray? For them, it's all about the results, the performance, thinking versus doing. Okay, section 4, why the definition matters. We're moving from the abstract to reality now. And I can almost hear you thinking, okay, interesting philosophy lesson, but so what? Why does this actually matter? Well, let me tell you, it matters a lot. This isn't just some academic debate. This has huge real-world consequences. Yeah, this quote just nails it. The way we answer the question shapes the future we build. It's that simple and that profound. Which path we go down, the thinking path or the doing path, is literally going to shape the world we and our kids live in. I mean, just think about it. Our definition determines everything. It determines the technology we create. Are we building a friend, or are we building a really, really smart hammer? It determines the problems we try to solve with it. And maybe most importantly, it determines the ethical rules we set. You'd have totally different rules for an AI that's just a tool versus one that could potentially have its own thoughts, right? This stuff defines our entire future with AI. So let's bring it all back. It's kind of funny, we started this whole explainer with a source that was, well, let's be honest, it was ridiculously short. What is AI? Just 3 little words. They look exactly the same as they did at the beginning of this, but hopefully they feel different now. They should feel heavier, right? A lot more complicated. And we found there's no single easy answer. And maybe that's the whole point. The answer to what is AI isn't a neat little definition you can put in a dictionary. The answer is the complexity. It's this whole debate we just talked about, thought versus action. It's the fact that it forces us to ask what our own intelligence is. In a way, the real definition of AI right now is that we don't have one. So, I want to leave you with this. When you think of AI, what are you really thinking of? Is it a super smart tool that just does things? Or is it something else? Something that thinks? Because whichever one you're picturing, that's the future you're helping to build. Something to think about.